One day Pesquantum was sitting on the beach there below Patuxent, just thinking about what a grand life it was. Cooking fires rising from the wigwams, and men talking around the council fire, children playing in the village. It was a grand life. But then suddenly he saw something that took his breath away. Way out on the horizon, there in the ocean, it looked like a canoe, but how could it be? As it got closer, it seemed like it was larger than the whales themselves. He went to stand behind a tree in the forest and watch. And what he saw reminded him of a legend that the old ladies told the children to keep them off the beach. As the water came up onto the beach and then washed back out to sea, this giant ship stayed right there on the beach, and strange men emerged, like he'd never seen before. Men with long pants, pale white skin, hair growing right out of their faces, big black boots that shuffled across the beach as they marched. Oh, he told his buddies, "Hey, ship buddy, those old ladies were right. It wasn't a legend after all. But these are just men. They're probably here to trade. We're men." And so Pesquantum and his buddies went out onto the beach, made themselves understood by gestures, but they couldn't understand a word that these men spoke. Kind of like, "I say, Captain, they don't have a language at all. They just mutter. They don't have souls, you know. They're just like beasts of the field, they are." No one could understand a word they said. But it was plain when they gestured to come out to the ship what they wanted. No way, that's when they turned back to the forest. But suddenly, they were dragged out to the ship and placed in a hold, about 20 men. And there it seemed they were on the journey of the dead, to the place of light, they hoped. Darkness, cold, hunger, thirst, long hours alone, until finally the ship stopped and the hold of the ship came open, and the sailors shouted down to them, "Avast ye savages, come topside for a flag ye with the cat o' nine tails." Of course they couldn't understand a word that he said, but they saw the light and they walked towards the light. But when they got topside, they saw that they were on the same ship. This was not the place of light. This was Malaga, a place where men bought and sold other men. But the men that Pesquantum went with were nice to him. Little strange looking, long brown robes, bald heads. But they taught him their language. 25 de diciembre, fum, fum, fum. 25 de diciembre, fum, fum, fum. Nacido por nuestro amor el niño Dios, hoy de la Virgen María, en esta noche tan fría, fum, fum, fum. And not only that, but they taught him new things, milking cows, harvesting grapes, and planting carrots. But they realized, even though it was good life, that he was in the wrong place. He needed to return to his people. Now, no American sold into slavery in Europe had ever returned. But they put him on a ship, and he went to a new place, a place where he learned a new language. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. He stayed in England for 2.5 years. The people trusted him, let them take their children horseback riding. It was a good life, but it wasn't where he ought to be. And they saw that he needed to get back to his family. So they put him on a ship, and he sailed away. And he sailed and sailed until finally he could hear the waves lapping upon the shore and washing out to sea. And he could hear the waves lapping up on the beach and washing out to sea. He realized he was back in Massachusetts, back in Patuxent. He ran up on the beach, and he ran up the hill, and he ran until he saw his village. And there he saw no cooking fires rising from the wigwams, no men singing around the council fire, no children playing in the village, not even a barking dog to greet him. He learned that smallpox disease had taken all the people of his village. Well, he went and lived with the people of Chief Massasoit, learned their language, but it wasn't the same. He went and lived in the forest by himself. One day, he was sitting and playing his drum, and one of the men of the village came running up to him. Hey, your buddy, hey, Squanto, you gotta come check it out. I don't want to check it out. But you gotta come see that there's people in your village. I don't want to see any people in my village. But finally he persuaded him, and they went down there, and what he saw took his breath away. There were cooking fires rising from the wigwams, men talking around the council fire, children playing in the village, even dogs, but they were dressed just like the people he had known in England. He was so surprised he walked right up to one of them and shook his hand. Good day, sir. It is a fine day today. Oh, imagine the surprise of the pilgrims, a native man speaking their own language in this new place. Well, Pesquantum made friends with these travelers, found many things in common, and he taught them to gather food and to plant and to harvest. And by that fall, there was so much harvest that they invited the people of Chief Massasoit, and he brought 75 braves, and they brought 5 deer, and they brought turkeys and pumpkin pies and all manner of seafood. And it was such a grand festival. They ate for 3 days. The warriors taught the children games. Ever since then, we realized our heritage, knowing languages so we can help other people, being willing to share, and being of service. You know, to have a good life, you have to care.